That's great content right there. I think that.
Can you repeat that again? I mean, are you able to say that over again a
Oh,
second time?
no, I'm gonna have to listen to this podcast.
There you go.
There it is.
There it
So
is. So
now
recording in progress. So here's
be
another thing.
discovered by the world.
Uh, yeah. Okay. So we did not clarify how we're going to welcome people to this podcast, right? We're just going to wing it and see what happens.
We're gonna send them money if they start listening. That's the first thing. Hey, yes, we have a listener.
So yeah, we're going to buy listeners. So here's the other part of
You guys can buy listeners.
okay. Are we going to put a little pause in the video so that when Michelle starts to edit video, she's got a little space for.
Well, let's just all
Mhm.
freeze. We'll just freeze,
Okay.
and then we'll pick it up from there.
And then we'll get going.
1, 2, 3, freeze.
Trey, you didn't freeze. Your eyebrows were going. So here we go on the welcome, right? Wait, are we doing freezing again?
I don't think freezing. I don't think we have to freeze necessarily.
Freezing didn't work. All right.
No.
Trent, you go.
I'm going.
What was it? What Trent?
You
start.
did volunteer, Trent. So
All right. Welcome to a discovered question, a conversation between 3 family members and educators.
awesome job, Trent.
We are that great job.
You may have just nominated yourself for every future episode.
I'm in for that, Todd. I mean, I think that's a great idea that Trent can be responsible for the introduction and whatever else we decide is a part of this, right?
Whatever. He is the youngest Moeller on the on the podcast, in the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And while we're talking about Trent, Todd, I think it's been a really busy week for Trent. One of our goals during our conversation today, I think, is to keep him awake with this space. So, I'm kind of, Trent, why don't you bring your Uncle Todd up to speed a little bit with what's been going on for you this week?
Yeah, well, so let's see. Thursday, I drove from Kentucky to our new house. And so we kind of did a soft move in. And then Saturday, we had the big trailer of all our stuff show up. And while the rest of my family, my parents and in-laws and my wife unloaded that big old trailer, I was at a booster golf scramble.
Nice. That's well played.
Some of the community members and all of that. So then continued the move-in process on Sunday. And Monday, we hit the ground running with 6:30 weights, 7:30 girls session, 9 o'clock football, first summer workout with the football team, and or not workout, but like practice with the football team, and
one of your contact days for this summer, right?
Right, one of my 20 contact days,
right?
And so it's been a busy week. Of course, Tuesday we had the weights again, and then today was weights and football second contact day. So it's been a hectic week, and me being the person I am, I've been in the building before 5 each morning, and it's taking a toll, especially after a restless.
So what you're saying,
especially after a restless Sunday night, because the anticipation and the excitement, new season, new school, all the different pieces that go with that.
Yeah.
Started the week with about no sleep, and then hit the ground running. So
yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting stuff. Well planted golf tournament.
Yes.
That is a master manipulator of schedule, to have brother-in-law, in-laws, mother and father-in-law, both parents, and his wife unloading and packing the house while he's playing golf.
Mo there too? It was were the Grandpa Mo there?
No, just
okay.
Yeah,
they showed me a picture of your place. So was that a different time they came and visited?
Yes, they came down the the day that we closed on the house.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, and I know a little bit more you left out, Trent. Come on, man. Today, I think, was a little bit of a
Oh,
different kind of day because didn't you label like today the +1 day in the weights program and
right.
then
So
serve the kids breakfast and stuff?
yeah, so like with the summer weights this year, what I've kind of been preaching to the kids is average athletes have to work out. So average athletes are going to show up Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. They're going to get their main lifts in, and you know, they'll produce on a field, but it's going to be an average level of production. It might be what's expected,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not going to achieve anything great doing that. And
Yeah.
then Wednesday is our +1 day. So it's the day where you separate yourself, where you say, you know what, I'm not really cool with just being average. I want to do something great, and I want our team to do something great. So it's giving the kids an extra opportunity to come in to get a workout, and I figured that that should be rewarded with a little team breakfast. So our outgoing athletic director, our incoming athletic director, some of the administrators in the buildings came out and helped cook up breakfast for our 79 athletes that showed up today.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm all in on the philosophy of food really motivates greatness. It's
Yes.
it has for me my entire life. So if there's food involved, makes the commitment just a little bit easier.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think one of the cool things too, Trent, is the food that you fed them was donated, wasn't it?
A lot of it. A lot of
A
it
lot
was
of it was
donated.
donated?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
um, we had over 300 eggs donated,
Nice.
over 30 pounds of sausage donated, and our outgoing athletic director donated pancake mix and time
Mm,
to cook. And I
That's
mean,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
good
that
deal. So, it makes me think, Trent. I mean, I know that there's been some intention there, and I love the message that you are preaching to your kids and to the community for that matter. Like, here's what average does. But we're wanting to accomplish something different, something more. Or if you're wanting to, here's how you do it. Let's do one more than what people typically do. And now you were telling me earlier, I mean, you had 79 kids in your weights today. I mean, so you were feeding
mm,
79 kids breakfast this morning, and
yes,
those kids are showing up. It's the first Wednesday of your +1. 79 of those kids showed up. You had all this extra help. I'm going to make a claim here, and I don't know. Last time we were talking, and you were being intentional about focusing on the good and looking for the good. And my accusation here, or my assumption is, you know what? Sounds like there's some good that's easy to find right now.
right. Yeah, there's a lot of really good things happening. So it's really exciting.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I love how you're creating the fear of missing out uh, for
Mm,
those, because they're gonna the kids who are there, they're gonna know that was that hey, something unique, something special is we can be a part of that, and
mhm.
yeah, that in of itself is gonna send an invite, to
Right.
that's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. And if the pancakes are good, man, then that even
No kidding.
it
No kidding. The food was very good today.
more yeah, yeah. That is awesome. So what else are you, thinking of other things like, plus ones? Is it working out, or is it are you doing other things that might be considered plus ones?
Uh, so right now it's just our Wednesday workouts. We just focus on kind of some of the other things that we're not doing in our regular Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday workouts.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
big focus for us today was like mobility, something that's often overlooked, but I had a lot of players come up to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought that 20 minutes of stretching would make me feel this good."
yeah,
And I'm just like, imagine if
Mm,
you did it 20 minutes 5 days a week. Like it it's eye-opening to some of them. And then I'm really trying to build the mentality of the +1 so that when we
Yeah.
hit like
Yeah.
football season, then Saturday becomes a +1 day.
Yes.
Not a mandatory day for football players. They're high schoolers, have a weekend, have a life. But
Yeah.
man, your coaches are going to be here and your teammates are going to be here that want to get better and
Absolutely.
create something great.
Absolutely love it. Love it. Are you open to a creative idea?
Oh yeah.
So my compete fiercely, lead boldly, love strong, those pillars. What that +1, I would say like that falls in the competing +1.
Hmm.
Like, could you do +1s in those other categories? One something that I thought of was like campus cleanup. Let's do a +1, or invite the kids. Hey, where else could we do a +1? And let them get. I know you don't have time to think about this right now, but eventually you will. Eventually you will. How can I +1 the +1 thing that
Right.
I'm doing? How can I make that even more? And man, you could do so much with it. That because I love that. I love that. Mm.
Yeah.
My
I
brain's
like that. That's good.
Brain. Well, I think there's a piece here too. And Todd, when you were talking about you love the food, I mean, I think there's a piece here that like Frank, it really sounds like you're setting up the situation where the environment of the context of being on the football team or being a part of the team is something that people are going to want to be to. There's this positive energy and it draws people into, or they want to be around it and be a part of that, not just the positive energy, but also the positive energy around doing something that makes a difference. So like what you were saying, Todd, like what are all the different things where the team or the players on the team might just be one, add one component to the community and helping make the community of the school or the whole town really a better place.
Yeah, man, my brain's going all over the place.
There you go. Let's hear it,
I-
man. Let's hear it.
here's another one. Like inviting the seniors to hey, you got the next +1 breakfast. It's on you guys,
Mm.
and just leave it. What you gonna do? It's on you. I'll be there at 5 a.m. to help support you, but what you got? Let's go. And then,
Wow.
you
Yeah.
know, and then there's ownership. Then there's like,
Mhm.
hey, you don't want to miss this. I'm going to be up at 5 a.m. Make you better be there. And and I heard a podcast recently. Speaking of podcasts, and it was about basically the concept. You guys will understand the concept pretty clearly. Like if you want to if you want to have great teammates, don't look for great teammates. Be the great teammate.
Be a great
That
teammate.
great
Yeah.
teammate. So the +1 is I'm not looking for it. I'm looking to be it. So that's the +1.
Uh,
I'm the +1. I am the +1 in anything that you do. So like creating that.
hmm.
My brain's all over the place.
Right.
I love this. I love this.
That's cool. Yeah.
So go
I
ahead,
mean,
Trent.
I was just saying, like, that's great stuff. Like that gets me thinking, like how do you create owner, like make it theirs?
Mm,
How do you make it
mm.
theirs?
Yep. 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 And you and let yourself be amazed because, you know, just throw out a question like, man, where in our football community, who could use a +1? And then all of a
Mm.
sudden you might find out a rally point, to who knows, who knows what it could be.
Yeah.
There, it those that the answer to that question is in every program,
Mhm.
every program.
Yeah. Hey, Trent, while we're thinking about this piece too, do you have one of your playbooks handy?
Yep.
Open it up to page 2 and show Uncle Todd. I don't think Uncle Todd's seen your playbook, by the way. So, um, I don't think your nephew. No, not that part.
Well,
Page
I'm just,
2.
I'm just
Oh,
showing
okay.
the
There
playbook.
you go.
I'm just showing that it exists.
So I'll make a note here about great leadership, Todd. Great leaders are not afraid to steal ideas from great leaders. So when you talk about, your pillars of competing fiercely, lead boldly, and love strong. Look at there, right there.
I
Champion
love
mindset is the
I love
compete,
it.
lead, and love. Uh, that your nephew is definitely stealing from you in this space. So you are talking in context
Yeah.
when you bring those things in there. So what else, Todd? Is there anything else that's kind of spinning on your head? Like when you think about like this +1 day and breakfast and creating this environment and all these different ways that Trent might share the ownership of just building community on this team and not just building community, but impacting and helping or supporting the community. What are some other things that are kind of coming to the surface for you?
I mean, it, really, it's asking the questions to like, where in
Mm.
our community could we be of value to them?
Mm.
It's more not the answer, but it's like, um, the plus ones are going to be all over the place. If you start seeing, hey, where could we plus one in how we compete, and how we develop, and how we lead ourselves, and how our teammates, and how we love not just inside our community of the football team, but the broader, realm. And you know that's where my mind was like racing, like
Right.
it being in conversation with your community, of as soon as they get the concept, because yeah, you distribute some ownership to them. And what I'm saying to you now might bring a totally different concept to you, but it's like asking that question, where can we plus one more intentionally in those categories? Absolutely, as we compete. Okay, yes,
Mm.
we're competing. We're going to plus reps. We're going to plus one on reps this week. So you think you got 10? No, you got 11. You got 11. We're gonna,
Mm.
hey, we got 10. The coaches say we got 10 sprints at the end. You talk to the leaders, hey, if you're ever inspired to plus one, you do it. You do it. You plus one them. You plus one
Mhm.
your own team.
Right.
And then that plus one in the competing realm, and then it could live in its own entity, like in the huddle, like we got one more yard to go, and we're whooped. I mean, we're spent. You got a plus one in you. Let's go. And they know that there's a reservoir of plus ones that you have mentally
Ah.
drilled into them through this, period of how they compete. We compete with a plus one in us. We find it when we need it. We find that plus one, and it becomes a theme in those moments that you can't even predict. All of a
Ah.
sudden, boom! It becomes like it's our
Well,
status. It's our status. It's part of our identity. Like we're a plus one team everywhere we go. We're a plus one. Oh, there's one more piece of trash that's left in the locker room. I'm plus one in it. I'm going to get it. I'm not leaving it. I'm not leaving it there. So it could be like,
mm.
it could be
And
a whole identity piece thing.
yeah. Well, and Todd, where it takes my thinking then is what you're saying is we learn that no matter how tired we feel, no matter how tired we think we are, we've got enough gas for one more, right?
Hmm.
Or as much as we think we've done, we can do one more thing. We can pick up one more piece of trash, or we can just straighten up the locker room or the equipment room, just that one little bit more than what we would have left it before with that.
And I'll add on that, like, um, for me, there's the plus one, but it's also how do we break down the barriers that prevent plus one from happening? And so, an easy barrier that comes to mind is the excuses. High schoolers, if you've been around high schoolers, which you guys have, they are full of excuses. So when they see that
I, I don't
locker,
think it's
why?
limited to. I don't think it's limited to high school kids, Trent. There's a lot for all
Right?
teams that I'm thinking right now. But go ahead,
Yeah.
get back to it. Get back
No,
to it.
so that piece of trash in the locker room. Well, the excuse would be, well, I picked up my trash, or well, that's not my trash, or and
I did my
and
part.
they're kind of, yeah, I did my part. Like someone else can do theirs, and they're all pretty cruddy excuses. I mean, And so what I've started doing is I take a box with sticky notes and pins out to practice. And every time a kid has an excuse, hey, go write it down on the sticky note, throw it away. 'Cause that's garbage out here. We don't need that. So it's trying
Oh,
to
so
break
you're
down.
doing it. Wait, wait,
Oh
wait, wait.
yeah.
Set that up again. Set that up again. What are you doing with that now? What's
Oh,
that?
so I have a little box and I have sticky notes in the box and pins, sticky notes and pins. And I take it and I set it on the bench at practice. And if I have a player that makes some excuse, I couldn't run the route right because I'm sore. That's an excuse. And that's trash out here. All right. We're gonna find a way to do it, not a reason we couldn't do it. Go write it down, throw it away because that's trash. We don't need that here. And so trying to break down the barrier that would stop us from achieving R plus one.
That's
Mm.
awesome. That's awesome. And I'm gonna take it one step further. And that is a great thought process from you as the leader. And then a something I heard recently: if a game or a sport is to teach character, there has to be time to reflect. Otherwise, it's just just a routine, or it's a action. So that action. So as you go through to consider, I know, because I know time is the of the essence even for the athletes, but if they can in some way reflect on why did hey, we all make excuses. We're putting in the trash. You understand that it's trash. It's not going to take you anywhere. Why do you think you made that excuse? I don't even want to know your
Mm.
answer, but I want you to consider, why is it that you did that? And then you're making it about, it's about them and their growth beyond that, not just a reactionary thing. And that when I heard that, that made sense to me, because unless we reflect and digest what just happened and learn how to think differently, not just respond differently, but think differently, then real change can happen. Because we don't want them just like giving up those excuses on the football field. We
Right.
want them to
Right.
recognize that when they're at work, when they're around their
So,
family.
so Todd, do you think it's like something that Trent leads, like in the huddle after each practice, like, as that practice session or workout session is ending, that he leads them like in a quick reflection at that point, or what would that
I,
look like, do you think?
I, I don't know what it looks like. I think if you have that on your mind, in your setting and circumstances, the moment will present itself. It'll present itself as the
Mm.
natural time and best time for you at your school, in your setting, and it'll appear, oh, hey, and not anything that I could prescribe or predict. And that's when the authentic, okay, that I want them to, you're saying, I want them to be able to digest this. I'm going to watch for a time as a leader. I'm going to watch for a time where we could naturally do this. And you invite the coaching staff as well. Hey, let's just watch for a time where we could ask the kids to be reflective on what, the things that we talk to them
Mm.
about, because it's not going to be just that. You're going to be talking to them about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is going to be coming at them, because you're talking a lot of good stuff to them constantly. Give them, hey guys, let's just watch for a time when we can be reflective, and it could be at the end of practice, could be, I don't know, You'll find it. You'll find it.
Well,
You know,
I, I even wonder about as a coach or the coaches modeling it for the players. I mean, I even wonder about like just a 15-second pause in the middle of practice, possibly. Like when you say looking for a time or a moment, that it could be as quick as that 15 seconds, not just after practice, but it could be during practice, or something like that.
yeah, I mean, absolutely could be.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's all I'm thinking. Uh,
Right.
because I know that that's when I have personally grown, and really things shift in me, is when I have journaled them, and and it's washed over me. I
Mm.
see myself clearly in what I'm challenged to do. I can see myself clearly and know what I need to do to change. And
Yeah. And
my answer for me on what I need to do to change is probably different than any individual, but it's in that time. So it's not in the telling and receiving that change. That I'm affected, but I'm not changed
right.
when I digest it
Oh
and
man.
see myself clearly.
Yeah, and that Todd, to me, that's I mean, that's getting into like the awareness, right? Like paying attention to like what is happening with our thinking. So like Trent with this thing with excuses, right? Like sometimes we're making excuses in our minds and we're not even aware of it, right? Like
Well, and
somehow
I can tell you an example. Like for me personally, I had to write one down today because I was throwing a ball and I made a bad throw, and I said, "Oh, I'm old and I threw on Monday. My arm's sore." Oh, that's kind of an excuse, isn't it? And I went and I wrote it down.
That's awesome. That
yeah,
is so awesome
that,
to
that
model that. That's awesome.
yeah, and I think the thing is, and absolutely to show the kids. And part of that, like I said, is that awareness and noticing of that thing, and then Todd, even what you were talking about is the insight of what the story is that you're telling yourself, right? Because what taking a whole that thinking part, like what is for us to stop it and to take control of it, we have to be aware of it first and capture that narrative.
Yeah, yeah,
That
and it could
felt
be
like
something
an anchor.
very simple. You could do a real
Dropped
simple
in.
practice.
Hey, okay, with that piece.
You're
So
kind of
okay, so
freezing up,
okay, all right, all right, all
Trey.
right. So we am I oh man, and I've had a little internet issue. So we'll see how this recording goes. Am I froze?
Don't make don't make excuses.
No, you're good.
You are correct. I should be in control of the functioning of our internet. No doubt about it. We'll have to work on that. So am I frozen now?
No, you're good. Good try.
Are you sure? That was one of my favorite tactics during COVID. Like if there was a meeting or a class and you didn't really want to respond to what was being said, just act frozen in the frame. Anyway, okay, that's a whole nother thing. All right, so listen, sounds like a couple different questions have surfaced for our day. I mean, do we want to pick our question? Like what's the one that we're really focusing on? Or do we just want to kind of roll to the end and then try to summarize it or figure it out later?
Yeah, I say when you get to the end of the conversation, where was it like in full like, yeah, oh, we're rolling here. What was this? What was the where did it begin?
Right. Right. Because
But today's question might be, what's your plus one?
well, and I think about like where this was. It was a little bit of a, you know, what is your plus one? What is plus one? And how do we apply plus one to competing fiercely, leading boldly, loving strong, with that piece? And then Todd, I mean, you were talking about like really like that plus one. How can we plus one for the greatest impact in our community? Right. And then the other question that I thought that maybe was there is how do we get past making excuses? Like within that stuff, those it seems like those were really kind of the questions that surfaced so far for us.
And that could be, yeah, and as I was just thinking, that could be in the lead boldly, like just leveling up my personal leadership, like leading myself
Mm,
well is like, why am I, understanding, making, I don't want to make excuses anymore. Why am I doing that? Why do I,
mm,
just, I'm going to level up plus one. You can only grow one rung at a time. Plus one, I'm going to continue to grow my leadership, my personal leadership. And those are that no excuse.
Mm.
That's a great challenge, to figure that out.
Oh, yeah. So
That's great content right there. I think that.
can you repeat that again? I mean, are you able to say that over again a second time?
No, I'm going to have to listen to this podcast. I'm going to.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm going to try because I agree with you. I think it really is good stuff because there's a part of that plus one concept that um, is an admission or an awareness of the fact that we are where we are and we get better one step at a time. And there are no shortcuts to it, right? That we focus on doing or being one step better. And as we keep stacking onto that capacity, that's where our leadership capacity and leadership impact really starts to materialize.
Yeah. Also, Trenton, give you total permission. We have redesigned your plus one. You can and throw it in that trash can if you want to.
No, no.
These are all just great ideas, that came to us because of something great you already started. So
Well, no, I mean, it's growing up, dad, I mean, the plus one concept was there's another level. And so what's that next level? What's the next level? What's the next level? I don't think in conversations with me, you didn't say the term plus one, but I do know it was in your repertoire, but it was what's the next level. So for me
Well,
as a coach, it's what's the next level of this plus one.
yeah,
And so like
but
I'm scratching the surface right here.
yeah.
And so what's going to be that next level? And then when I hit that next level, my problem sometimes is I'm like, we made it. Let's go.
there's a next level,
What's the
and then
next? But
yeah,
then there's another level. What's the next
yeah.
level?
So Trent, you reminded me of the story. Like I remember telling you that next level thing, right? I remember maybe the first time I remember preaching that to you. You were in the third grade, somewhere in there, third, fourth, fifth grade, something like that.
Hit a
You're
pause
in,
on Trent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to endure that. At
Well,
third grade, a sermon series from Trey Moeller. I'm sorry you had to endure that.
I can't believe it waited until third grade. I was thinking
how
like 5
not to
years old.
parent. I get you. It's going to be the how not to parent. But here's kind of the thing, right? I mean, having played a little bit of basketball, having coached a little bit of basketball, and I'm out in the driveway with my third grade son, and he's like, "Dad, I've got it." I'm like, "What do you mean you've got it?" He goes, "I know everything I need to know to be a basketball player." I'm like, "Son, there's more to learn about basketball than what you know right now." Did I freeze up on that one?
Yeah, went in slow.
I think the
But
lesson is learned though, because everything worked out perfect. I knew everything I needed to know about basketball because I just stopped playing it shortly after.
You capped out.
that is
Yeah,
true.
my level did end. It
Yep.
was
Okay.
Right. You may have known all you needed to know about the game of basketball. That is true with that space. Anything, before we wrap it up that either of you guys want to make sure we add in?
thank you for joining us at our discovered question, where we learned today what is your plus one.
Oh, what's your plus one? All right. All right. How about this? Okay, let's do that. So Trent, you offered the possibility that what is your plus one as a question. Todd, what about you? Like if you were going to wrap it up in your thinking, as you're thinking about it, what's kind of the question that resonated for you today?
A concept, not necessarily a question, but the the question may lead into an unknown. Like you may not know the answer. So like what is the plus one sets the mindset. And because one of the things I think that is important and key is that in the leadership and the love strong, those pillars, that it's authentic. Like in the compete fiercely
Mm,
plus ones, you can create those standards and those things to press into the leadership and
mm,
the love strong. I think they need to be authentic. So
mm.
you pin the question and watch for the authentic to appear. Uh, and then you know,
Right.
you step into it. So some of those, the question, what
Yeah.
is your plus one? You may not know where that growth is going to be, or what part where the plus one love, where you can connect, with that.
Yeah. And I love that, Todd, from the standpoint of it's not about the answers we think we already know.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
about the plans or the strategic plans or steps that we think are the right things to do. It's really staying curious and looking for new answers to those questions. So figuring out what you want the answers, what questions you want answered, and then that's what makes it real because you're in pursuit of it in real time,
Right.
contextually with the people that you're leading in that
Yep.
space. Yeah, thanks for that. And if I'm going to say what resonated for me, I'm sorry, I can't get past the fact that my son is now preaching next level, there's another level. And I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to say, hey, it's celebration. I mean, Trey's celebrating. And yeah, I guess I feel good that I didn't screw everything up, with the sermons of my third grade son. So, uh,
Good stuff.
all right, man. Well, hey, I look forward to future conversations and the other
Yeah.
questions that
Yeah.
that we're gonna find together. So anyway,
Love you guys.
yeah,
Love you.
love you too. Yep. See
All
you.
right. Get some sleep, Trent. Go get some sleep.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. See you.